This is John Adkins, and I'd like to give you some information about the clip you're about to hear. I'm recording this on January 11th, 2008. My grandfather, Asa Williams Adkins, Ace to his friends, Doc to his ham friends, but Pop to his grandchildren, sent this tape to my sons John and Will in February 1971. Sarah, you weren't born yet. The message will speak for itself. But before playing the tape, here's a bit of genealogy about this part of our family you might find interesting. Pop Adkins was born on February 9th, 1880 in Huntington, West Virginia. He was the 11th of 12 children born to Noah and Octavia Ann Davis Adkins. The youngest daughter in the family died when she was about 18 months of age, so Pop was the baby in the family. Pop's oldest brother was 22 years older than he was. Noah, his father, was born on March 20th, 1834, and Octavia, his mother, was born on October 23rd, 1841. Noah's parents were Isaiah and Nancy Ann Bowen Adkins. They were born on October 1st, 1799 and August 6th, 1806, respectively. Pop married Louise McClung, who was born on October 3rd. They had 4 children: Anna Louise, who died in infancy, Asa Jr., Noah Crawford, my father, and Mary McClung. I'm told that Pop decided to go to medical school because Anna Louise died of diarrhea when she was 16 months of age, and he felt that nobody should die of diarrhea. Here's the tape.
This is February the 14th, 1971, Lexington, Kentucky. And a little letter to John and Willie Adkins, who live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That's a long, long way from here, boys. But still at the same time, I can talk to you here lying in bed, and both of you can hear and understand what I say. I got your Valentine's the other day, and both of you told me that you loved me, and asked if I loved you too. Certainly I love you very, very much. And it was a great pleasure for me to get those Valentines from you boys. And I love you too very, very much. The weather has been very, very cold here the last 3 or 4 days, getting close down to 0. Snow on the ground, the wind blowing, and you can hear it howling as it goes by the little cottage that I live in here in Meadowthorpe in Lexington. You remember the place, I'm sure. You were here one time when your grandfather brought you here, and you boys played on the floor, just wrestled around there like a couple of little kittens playing on the floor. And then another time when your mother and father both were here with you. And I've enjoyed those trips that you made here to see me very much. I wish you lived closer so that you could come in here and I could have a visit with you more often. But your father, who is a doctor, I started to say like I was, but he's a modern doctor. I was an old country doctor. All of my practice was out in the country. And I know that you have seen people ride horseback on the television, if you haven't seen it, actually on horses that were alive, and the men that were riding on them alive. But for 7 years, I did all of my medical practice on horseback. Didn't have any automobiles at that time. That was before the time of the automobile. Anyway, that was that was hard times too when you had to get out in the cold, get up on a horse, put heavy clothes on, a big overcoat on top of that, pull a toboggan down over your head that had a slit in it so that you could see out, and a hat on top of that, so if it rained that the toboggan didn't get wet on the top of your head. Those are the old times. And I don't want to go back and do that thing over again. I had enough of that at that time. I'll bet you would have enjoyed it, though, if you could have been there with me. Had lots of snow and ice and wind and rain. The creeks would get up. And one time I had to swim the creek on my horse. And that same night to get home, when I got to the larger creek, there was a bridge across it. And I put the rein of my horse over the saddle horn, turned it loose, and I ran for the footbridge across the creek. But I didn't get there in time to catch my horse before I got there, and she didn't stop when I said whoa to her. She kept on going, and I had to walk the rest of the way home. When I got there, she was standing at the barn door, ready for me to let her in, which I did. Well, those are things that happened to me long years ago. Your father, of course, drives an automobile all the time. When he goes any place, he gets in his car and he goes in a hurry. And he works in a great big hospital, and it was about 25 or 30, it was nearly 40 miles from where I was to get a patient to the hospital. We had to put them in a wagon, put a cot, and put the cot in a wagon, and have horses to take them to the railroad, and then from the railroad on, they went on the train. I wonder if you boys have ever ridden on a train. We did. I'm not sure whether you've been flying in airplanes or not, but I expect you have, though. I expect you've flown about as much as I have. I've only made about 3 or 4 trips in a plane. But I've been up in the air, way high, looked down, saw the ground way down below me, looked way, way down. The clouds below me, too. Anyway, this is about all I think I can tell you right now. I'm going to keep this a little while longer. Maybe I can tell you something else. So, wait just a while. Maybe I'll have something more to tell you.
Pop sent the tape out a few days after he recorded it. He apparently never had the time or energy to record anything else on it. He continued to be active as a ham on the radio, and for a while he was the oldest active ham in the state of Kentucky. He died in Lexington at the age of 93 on May 28, 1973, and he was quite a grandparent. We thought this tape was lost for maybe 25